A one, a two, a one, two, three, four, and welcome to the show. A little improv for you guys for this week's episode. Welcome to another episode of The More You Know. I'm your host Brian Yu, and today our guest is no one. I don't have a guest for you guys today. I kind of forgot about the show and forgot to post up on my posting sites where I look for some guests, but I kind of realized that I don't really like you guys don't really know much about me. Like I'm the host of the show. I present it and I give you guys like why I made this podcast, but you don't really know much about me. And I think the best way to really connect with my listeners is to kind of tell you kind of like some background stuff of me, and so you can kind of relate. Today's show, we're gonna talk about work. So that's always fun. Um, I can't, and kind of like some life lessons that I've kind of learned throughout my life. So a little bit about the background in my job history is that my first job was actually at a McDonald's. So I literally was like started from the bottom, and everyone's like stereotypical first job, flipping patties at McDonald's in high school. Worked only like a day in the week because of school. Worked the weekends mostly. And at the time, I was getting paid below minimum wage. And I think back when I started, I think minimum wage was like 7.25 ish or something like that. Something in the low $7. So I was getting paid like 25 cents or 10 cents below that. And one thing that I've always been told as a kid from my parents was that money is hard to make. And at the time being, I was still a kid and I didn't really know much at that point. But man, once I got into McDonald's, like that put everything into full perspective for me. I hated it. It was grilling every single shift because I worked the grill. Grill is hot, especially in the summer. Not much AC really goes in the bag. Well, there is AC, but even with like the heat from the grill and the running around that you're doing, and you have to wear black dress pants and a black shirt and a hat, like it was brutal. And I can't tell you, the first time that I got my first paycheck was probably the most exciting moment of my life, because even though I worked like 2 days in 2 weeks, like I still had like $99 to 100 to make up for it. And back then, like that was a lot of money to me, but even like today, that's a lot of money to me still. But I wouldn't give that up for any other experience, really. I think McDonald's, like working at McDonald's and like fast food in general, made me the person who I am today, and like my work ethic, because it kind of shaped of like how hard it is to make money out there, and like what kind of circumstances, and just how much like grueling like just work that you don't want to do. It taught me a lot about teamwork too, time management, because you want to prepare yourself for like the morning rush or like the lunch rush or the dinner rush. So you kind of manage your time well, of like what you need to do, and what you need to prepare for. Fast forward to a year after that, we are quitting McDonald's now, and now we are going to be a server at a local banquet center in my hometown. And that was amazing. Like, if I could go back, like, I would definitely do that part time, but even that kind of sucked too, because sometimes you would work 12-hour shifts. You would work maybe hell. I've only done like a 12-hour shift there once, but that was because of Easter. So you had like the morning Easter brunch, then you have Easter dinner. Those days were brutal, but at then we got a pay raise up to $8, so we went from $7 and some change to all the way to $8, or was it 8.50? Either one. Anyways, but it was still a big change for me, which I was excited for. And honestly, the perks of working at a banquet hall were great, because the people there were awesome, awesome. Like, we met some cool people there, and other perks were like you get to eat leftovers, which was great. I loved the Alfredo there, loved it all. Sometimes you get the spare cake if there's any leftover ice cream, leftover desserts. I'll all is good, but even the best part was the tips too. But weddings really don't give you tips for banquet halls. Even then, like working can like just working days and like weekends of just there really taught me like, wow, I'm on my feet all day and I am running around different banquet rooms. Like sometimes you would work like a wedding in a shower or something, and those are draining, but you're still getting the paid. You're still getting the same rate of $8, and checks were somewhat higher there, but it still showed me like, oh my god, like I can't wait to like just do like an office job or something and just get paid like $20 an hour or something. But it really just like being in the field and doing the hard work, doing all of the just like moving around a lot, expending so much energy out there really does put into perspective like how hard it is to make money and how we kind of have to really value it in a way because we are putting so much out there to earn it. So in the case of working at McDonald's or working at even like the banquet hall, like we put our sweat in there because it like for me running around doing all this for people, doing all these favors, and all I got from that hour was $8 of just running around and sweating. So it kind of goes hand in hand with fitness, just kind of like how working out and like losing weight. It's easy to eat food and enjoy all of these delicious snacks. So let's take, for example, an Oreo, my favorite food. 2 Oreos is like 400 calories or something, I believe. Something high. And do you know how long it is to burn off 300 calories on a treadmill? Think about it. Think about it for a second. It takes probably like a half an hour to an hour, depending on what you do and how intense you go. Like the best way to do it would probably be for me. I would say incline. Do an incline on the treadmill and walk at like a speed of 3 for like 30 minutes. You could probably hit 300 some calories there, but you enjoyed the Oreos in 2 seconds or less, depending on how much that you like them. So it kind of goes into perspective of money too. That's kind of one thing that really stuck with me was like, wow, I can go out and go buy some McDonald's right now and get a meal for like $8. But then again, like, what is that really doing for me? Not much. Not much at all, because it doesn't go toward my health goals. It just goes toward my short-term satisfactory, like, taste buds right there. But it also took me like an hour to work for that. And that is when I realized, like, wow, money and how you do it and like what you do really got changed from working in the fast food industry. So today, I kind of value that, and I like how it kind of brought me to my awareness now. Like, okay, if I work hard in school or like work hard on like my side hustles like the podcasting and the blogging. And the blogging I'm not really haven't been that great with, but we're trying to get back into that. But it kind of taught me like, wow, making money is hard, and like you don't want to do this for the rest of your life. And like I couldn't do it. Well, update to that. Eventually, I did leave the banquet hall to work at Chipotle. Chipotle, I think, is probably the best place to work as a kid because you learn so much there. You learn so much like life skills. Really, you learn how to use a knife properly. You know how to cut stuff. For me, I learned how to use a knife properly there. Learn how to sharpen a knife properly. Learn how to cut veggies. Learn how to cut and mince onions and dice onions and make lettuce. Make all this cool stuff. And Chipotle, I definitely would not give that up because I use a knife almost every single day when I make dinner or when I meal prep, and it saves me so much time because I know what I'm actually doing. So working there was pretty grueling too, but I did get a pay raise for that. I think it was like $9 an hour there. Little upgrade, but I think Chipotle was really worth it. But if you do work the grill, then you work a very stressful schedule, because if you've ever been to a Chipotle on like a lunch, then you know like how long the lines get, how much everyone wants, and then you just have to keep up with the demand while multitasking the grill, the stove, and the rice. And that also helped me with like multitasking and like time management. The overall message of me talking about like my past experiences and like where I've worked and like how and just like everything like from the bottom really of McDonald's, like how it shaped me today is like just like you want to just upgrade, keep upgrading, keep working hard, doing stuff that is meaningful to you. I know that you guys may think like, oh, what does the server have to do with anything meaningful? Being a server or anywhere makes you a very personable person. I've had a lot of conversations with people. That's how I got comfortable with like just being out there and like being out talkative and like not in my shell. And Chipotle really taught me life skills, and I brought skills from like uh, working at the banquet hall and being able to talk to people and make new friends at Chipotle. So kind of building on top of that, and then building your skills of life skills really. But jobs do suck, and they might suck in the moment and when you're doing it, but there's a lot of life lessons that come out from like starting from the bottom. One, McDonald's. McDonald's, you learn how hard it is to make money, so you value it more and how you really spend it. Next job can build a skill that you didn't know that you had, but well, man, scratch that. Next job, it could build a skill that you were lacking. For me, it was person, uh, people skills. Being out there, being able to talk to people, spark up conversations. Chipotle used the skills from there and used that to build connections at Chipotle, and Chipotle worked and taught me a lot. Fast forward, got a job in college, customer service in one of the food warehouses there that supply food to the whole entire campus. Connected with some people from like the cafeterias and all that, and then out in the warehouse, um, did a lot more manual work, but it was fun manual work. But was able to connect with a lot of the warehouse workers in a way, and was able to joke around with them. But yeah, that if there's one message that I can tell the younger generation that's like that kind of looks at working at McDonald's and like as a bad thing, I mean like I think it's really necessary for young people to really work in fast food or work in a really crappy job. Because if there's one thing that Casey Neistat really kind of echoed, it was that he could have got his son like a nice little producing job at any like video studio or something cool. But he decided that he should probably work in fast food because he should realize like how hard it is to make money and how much working kind of sucks. Like working at like kind of like a beginner job really. Like I don't want to like put a bad light on it, but it's a good starting point because it kind of opens your eyes to a lot of life opportunities and like life lessons to be learned, and kind of gets you in the mindset of you should work hard all the time and it will pay off. Because even to this day, like a lot of like my hustling and like what made me really start a lot of things was because I know how much working sucks. Like, and that there are other avenues to make money out there. You just have to put in the work for it. And if you work in the past, like you know, like kind of like starting your own side hustle or starting your own business, like you worked like the trenches in the trenches and you realize like what it takes to get something started and to make money. So that will transfer over when you want to start a business because like okay, you're driven, you've been through like the trenches and you've been through the hardships to make money. You got this. Like they'll like you'll already have your foundation of working hard, and you can build on top of that to start your own empire. But yeah, that is kind of like the biggest life lesson that I can tell right now. I know that this is a new segment, and it might not be the best, but we're gonna try it. I think that I was thinking today because a lot of people have connections with their listeners, so like they know a lot about the host and all that, and I feel like I haven't been really transparent with everyone of like them knowing like who I am. Like, oh, what's this guy going to tell me? Like, I don't know him. Like, I can't really connect to him, and I think this is a good way to connect myself with my listeners. So here and there, I think we're going to maybe do a solo podcast. This one was kind of just like, let's try it, but next time I might do a better script of planning everything out, because I think in this one I kind of did get around to like here and there and like jumping all over the place, but I think the overall message of like what I wanted to get out, I did get out. So that's all good with that. Hopefully next week we will have a guest to do the show. I got some people lined up that I've been talking to, and all we just got to do really is schedule time with them and get it on pen and paper, and then we should be good. A little update too. Please check out moreyouknowpodcast.com. That's where I'm going to be posting the majority of these episodes now too, and like not like it's not another place to just like listen to the podcast, just like on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, or just any podcasting platform. There's going to be like more useful information that I post or my guest posts that bring more value into these conversations that I'm having with these people. Just useful articles that could relate to a time or little segment that we had on this podcast. And I think that a lot of people, if you want to learn more about what they're talking about, these are perfect ways of like learning it, because if the person that's talking learned from it too, you can follow that path, and maybe you can dive deeper into it and become more of an expert than the person that I'm talking to. But yeah, that was the end of the show. I wanted to keep it a little short. I think I kept it to like 15 minutes or so. So this for a little 3-minute or segment, just a little updates, and yeah, I will catch you guys on the next episode. Please be sure to subscribe and follow on your favorite podcasting platform to the More You Know podcast, so you know when each episode is going to be released. And don't forget to rate this podcast on Apple Podcasts, as it does help me out in the algorithm and getting us found. Just, yeah. Hope everyone has a terrific week, and I will catch you guys on the next episode. Have a good week, guys.